Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. Welcome to my video. This video is about AMP. And the news today was that AMP was listed on Binance.us. I wasn't aware of that until today. I have been doing some research on AMP to prepare a video, so I'm going to go ahead with what I saw in my preparations, taking into account the knowledge that it has listed on Binance.us. And I think it has a lot to do with Brian Brooks going over there, former comptroller from the federal government here. But you can see there, Thursday, today, July 29th of 2021 at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm in the Central Time, but AMP was up and running on Binance.us. We didn't really see a major impact on the price. But one thing I did notice that I found interesting was that USD deposits have FDIC insurance coverage at Binance.us. Maybe that also has something to do with the comptroller, former comptroller, Mr. Brooks, going over there. Maybe it was already in place. I don't know. I do know that I had issues with Binance.us, and I'm liking what I'm seeing in their recovery, because I did empty what I had in my accounts there, and I'd like to put some back if they're going to be insured and run in a more efficient manner than what I encountered. When we look at the impact of the listing on Binance.us, we can see that the price, which was already on an upward trend, and this is as of recording that I did this, it's varied a little bit off and on, but it was just over 7 cents. And remember, you buy on rumor and you sell on news. Well, the news is out, folks. I'm not saying to sell, but I'm saying the benefit of this run probably already went past us for those who knew it was coming. I did see in my research that there was a spike in the volume. I shared that with a few friends of mine. And I said, I told them somebody knows something. Well, they knew that it was going to list on Binance.us. I was the only one who didn't, apparently. But what I did see in my research was a pattern. And the pattern I saw was a broadening ascending wedge. And I pre-recorded it because I'm not very efficient with these lines, as even in the pre-recording. But the wedge was obvious, so let's just listen in as I go over that information. Okay, so this is my first stab at doing something like this, and for the sake of time, I actually have it already completed. But this one here, I'm going to do here with the audience to show that there is certainly a broadening ascending wedge pattern being formed here, and I mean you can see it there, and of course bear with me on these tools here because I need these tools here, but I'm not new at detecting patterns, and I see the pattern here, and surely there you can see there's an ascending broadening wedge. That's a rough outline of it, but certainly it's there to be seen. I'm aware that the ascending broadening wedge is a reversal chart pattern. It's usually a bullish indicator, as you can see here, bullish widening channel, and I notice that this formation is what's forming with AMP, and the breakthrough usually goes, as you can see, 80% of the time it heads down. However, I also was looking at AMP before I was aware of the Binance listing, and before I even did my research on a broadening wedge. Keep in mind, this is my first time giving any kind of technical details in one of my videos, and I just call me a contrarian investor. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. What I'm seeing is going to result in a bearish outcome. I think it's going to result in a bullish outcome for multiple reasons. And the chart you see here adds to those multiple reasons because although the overwhelming majority of the time the ascending broadening wedge has a bearish outcome, forgive me, I noticed I said in the recording bullish in the beginning, but I meant bearish. There are times when it has a bullish outcome, and that's what I anticipate out of AMP's progression and trajectory in the patterns that it's forming. And you can see in the standard one, you have the line of resistance up top, you have the line of support on the bottom. Coming in from a bullish trajectory, we have A going down to B, C, D, E, F. And then F starts to determine what's going to happen next. And then, of course, we get confirmation at E by beating E, testing E, leaving E. And what we can expect as a target price is the distance from B to E. There's our target. So when we look at the charts that I prepared already for AMP earlier this morning, you can see the price up there 7584. So that's the reason for the variance in prices, aside from the fact it's the crypto market. But you can see I've patterned out the A, the B, the C, the D, the E, and the F. So we are at the confirmation stage. Are we going to confirm upward trajectory, or are we going to do what generally happens for an ascending broadening wedge and do the bearish trajectory? It's hard to see here, but the wick did go up and touch the E confirmation line, but we haven't broken the E confirmation line. We haven't closed above it, and this is pretty much the end of the day. We probably won't close above it. But we do have a few days left to see if another candle forms and crosses it, comes down to test it, and then crosses it again. If that happens, we're off to the races, folks. And I think that is what's going to happen. Because even before this ever occurred with this listing that I found out today, I was already in the mindset. This support line here is obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 times touched. It's a genuine line here. And although this week is a weak line as resistance, and I say it's a weak line as resistance, it's because we were testing uncharted territory when we came here in the first place. And there's nowhere to really form any kind of major support or major resistance other than the fact that the all-time high pegged up, wicked up, basically all the way up to over 12 cents. But these red lines here have been touched several times in acting as a zone of support and resistance. And so I expect it to play around in here, and before it turned a red candle earlier today, I was already anticipating that it may turn red, it may turn green, but it's going to stay in this area. But we're only left until about the 2nd of August before it makes a decision. So being the 29th, we have the 30th, 31st, 1st, and 2nd. And I think by the 3rd, not on the 3rd, by the 3rd, which means it could happen anytime from today on, it's going to make its decision as to whether it's going to go bearish or whether it's going to go bullish. I'm thinking it's going to go bullish for the reasons that you see here, and I'm thinking once it reaches this uncharted territory, I don't know if we're going to go as high as the 15 cents that the technical analysis says. It could go as high as 15, could go as high as 18 for all we know. But what we really want to concern ourselves is, will it crack that all-time high and form a new one? If it does, well then once again the sky's the limit until the market determines a cutoff. So looking forward on AMP, the question is, AMP up? Well, DK Will is still saying, AMP up. Buy low, sell high, folks. That's the name of the game. And right now, with this support we have, with a very steep incline, I think you can trust that it's going to choose to go up as opposed to down when you consider not just AMP, but the entire crypto sphere and market caps and bitcoins and XRPs and everything else. So DK Will is going to put his neck out there and say one more time, amp up.